Hello everyone, this is Harrison again to tell you about Spike's Cafe. Spike's Cafe is the place you want to take your family for breakfast or lunch. Trust me, they even cater. So if you have a party, they will bring the food to you or their food truck to your event. Spike's Cafe is the best. My dad takes me a lot of places to eat, so I know what I'm talking about. Spike's Cafe is open Tuesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. And on some Fridays they stay open until 8. So check out their Facebook page for specials or today's hours. Spike's Cafe, only in Ingalls, Kansas.
Advances in technology have made hearing a more fashionable thing. Gone are the big, bulky hearing aids of yesteryear, and in are more sleek, modern, and connected devices. Connect to your TV, your phone, and the world around you. If you are having trouble with hearing, then schedule a free hearing test at Miracle Ear of Southwest Kansas with convenient locations in Dodge City, Garden City, and Liberal. More and more people of all ages are starting their journey towards better hearing, and you can too. Visit miracle-ear.com today to schedule a free hearing test. Miracle Ear of Southwest Kansas. You deserve to hear a better day.
Graph Inc. is your printing solution nationwide and the only place I do my printing business. Hello everyone, it's me, Joey Dean. When I need business cards, flyers, banners, or even just graphic design, I call on my friends at Graph Inc. They can print you pretty much anything and have it arrive at your door in short order. Scale tickets, carbon sheets, or whatever you need printed. The professionals at Graph Inc. will make sure that you're putting your best foot forward. They're a 24/7 printer too, so don't worry if it's 7 p.m. on a Friday. They will still make sure you're taken care of. Find them online at gigc.us. The only place I trust for my printing needs is Graph Inc.
If you need a place to cash your paycheck or are looking for a little extra cash, stop by AAA Pawn and Armory. AAA Pawn and Armory has a wide selection of slightly used items such as TVs, guitars, golf clubs, tools, jewelry, and more. They also have a large inventory of rifles, shotguns, and handguns, as well as ammo in stock. So whether you are looking for your next firearm, TV, or other item, or you just need to cash a check or pawn something for a little extra money, don't go anywhere but AAA Pawn and Armory, 132 West Kansas Avenue in Garden City.
That's right, bench warmers, it is Ridin presented by AAA Pawn and Armory right here on Dry River Radio. I had to catch myself. I'm so used to saying Garden City Win Baseball presented by Graph Inc. that I'm doing the other one right now. So welcome to the show. Glad to have you along. Don't forget to check out the AAA Pawn Shop Facebook page. They had a giveaway going on yesterday. I don't know. I'm going to look right now. While we're sitting here, I'm going to look and see. They had a 12-gauge shotgun that they were raffling off that you had to purchase a ticket. Me and the wife each purchased one because I want a shotgun. It looks like they're still haven't drawn yet. So it looks like, looks like you can still get tickets for the Legacy Citadel 12-gauge shotgun, $15 each, 20 tickets being sold total. You can go to the AAA Pawn Shop Facebook page. You can also take cash to AAA Pawn Shop, 132 West Kansas in Garden City, but you can go to their Facebook page and get their Cash App and do it that way as well. But go get yourself a ticket. Only 20 being sold, so your odds are really good. And only $15. I mean, heck, that's not bad. $15 for, a $200 and some shotgun? Like, yeah, let's go. Let's do that. So, like I said, the wife and I each bought one, so my luck, she will win, and I will not. And so, I'll be sad then. But, go to AAA Pawn Shop Facebook page. Get yourself entered. Lots to get to in the show today as the Pecos League Playoffs in full swing. Boy, what a crazy playoff it has been so far, too. We'll look here in just a moment at the recap of yesterday's games. They involved the same two teams. It's been very strange. Out in the Pacific, Martinez, San Rafael, they upset the top two seeds in Dublin and Bakersfield as Martinez defeated Dublin. San Rafael defeated Bakersfield. We're used to seeing San Rafael in this position in the playoffs. They've been the representative of the Pacific a number of times over the last few years. So, it's no surprise, really, team with that pedigree, that they would bounce Bakersfield, who is equally a good team. I was very surprised Martinez put it together and dumped Dublin. And so that's going to be a very interesting series starting tonight in California between San Rafael and Martinez. San Rafael will be the host of that Pacific Division Championship Series. There's one less round in the Pacific because there's only 5 teams out there in the Pacific Division. So they've got one less round than what we have in the Mountain Division, which has been equally surprising as, once again, the lower seeds won those division or those wild card rounds as Grand Junction swept Alpine. And then the only series to not end in a sweep, Trinidad won game 1 15-0, and it looked like the Triggers were just going to roll over Tucson. And then the extended game 2 that stretched over 3 whole days because it rained and rained and rained in Trinidad. They were tied 1-1, and then they were tied 3-3, and then they finally got it in yesterday morning. Game 2 finished with Tucson coming back and winning it 6-5, and then in the late game last night, Tucson was able to upend Trinidad and get the victory in the series. And so all 4 lower seeds, all 4 wild card teams have won the opening round, and the 2 number 1s that are left, Garden City and Roswell, they got to be thinking a little bit because these teams are not pushovers by any means. So let's take a look real quick at the Pecos League recap, and then we'll recap the recap here in just a moment. And with your Hi, I'm your host, Joey Dean. We're still in Game 2 of the first round between Trinidad and Tucson. This has spanned over 3 days. Top of the 8th inning, tied at 3, Gavi Perez-Torres. He would reach on a fielder's choice. 2 runs would come in to score on the throwing error to make it 5-3 Tucson. Next batter, Cedric Reynaud reaches on a fielder's choice. Trent Maloney scores, and it's 6-3 in favor of Tucson. Bottom of the 9th, Keaton Fisher with a 2 RBI single makes it 6-5, but that is as close as the Triggers would get in game number 2, as they would fall to Tucson even in the series 6-5, the final score. Later in the day, we played game 3. In Trinidad, at bottom of the 3rd, Brody Rasmussen, a solo home run, makes it 2-1 in favor of the Triggers. Top of the 5th inning, Connor Kiefer with a 2-run homer scores Angel Faras, and it's 6-5, still in favor of the Trinidad Triggers. Top of the 8th, still 6-5. Sloan Laird ties it with an RBI single. That starts a 3-run inning for the Saguaros. And then we go to the bottom of the 9th. Kali'i Price at the plate. He'll strike out swinging, and Tucson pulls the upset on the Trinidad Triggers as they win the round 1 matchup that stretched over multiple days by winning game 3 8-6. All 4 series thus far have been won by the wildcard teams, with number 1s Roswell and Garden City having first round byes. 3 game 1s today. Martinez is at San Rafael, Tucson is at Garden City, and Grand Junction visits Roswell. Join us again next time for another Pecos League recap. So there you see the Pecos League recap, and you heard it if you're listening on Dry River Radio. But, of course, if you're watching on Facebook Live, you saw it. And, man, it was definitely an interesting series between Trinidad and Tucson. I honestly was not giving Tucson much of a chance to win that series. I thought Trinidad would sweep them, especially after coming out winning 15-0 game 1. It just kind of felt like Trinidad was going to punch their ticket to go to Garden City. I think the rain helped Tucson a lot and kind of gave them a little bit of breathing room to regroup and be tied and then come back and be tied and come back. It took a lot out of Tucson. Now, I don't know what that says about this series with Garden City other than they're kind of beaten up. Tucson was beaten up before the series with Trinidad. Now they've had this elongated round one affair with the Triggers, and they had to scrap and fight their way into a playoff spot, holding off Pecos for the final wild card spot. So this is a team, and they're defending champs too. This is a team that you can't count out at all, even if they don't have Sean McNeil at the helm anymore. This is still the defending champs. There's still guys like Gavi Perez-Torres who were part of that championship team last year. Javon Cervantes, who pitched outstanding last night for 8 innings. These guys have a championship pedigree, and so it's going to be very difficult for the Garden City Wind in this series against them. And then on the other side of things, Roswell is going to have their hands full with a very determined Grand Junction team. That team's walking around with a chip on their shoulder. They don't like the way the schedule was laid out for them. They don't like Garden City at all. They have a problem with pretty much everybody in the league, and they went down and took care of business against Alpine and swept them. And so that's going to be the big one for Roswell, is to figure out a way to knock off a team that's walking around like the world owes them something. They've got a big chip on their shoulder, and right now they're playing some of the best baseball in the Pecos League. When they were in Garden City last week, I said that these are probably the two best teams in the Pecos League, Grand Junction and Garden City. The Wind have faced them 5 times. They've beaten them 4 times, but they've been close games for the most part. The very first one back on June the 1st was 3-2 in favor of Garden City. Then the next day was 12-2 in favor of Garden City. Then they didn't play again until last week. A lot happened in the 2 months that they didn't play each other, and Grand Junction got better and better and better. And so the 3 games last week, Garden City won game 1 7-2. They lost game 2 7-5. Then they won game 3 8-7. They were close games. They were down to the wire type of games. So, this is a very good Grand Junction team, and I think they've got a really good shot at beating Roswell, who's a very good offensive team. Roswell has some guys that can really swing the stick, and the first guy that comes to my mind is Xander Neighbors, who formerly was a Omega, Kansas City Iola Omegas last year. Neighbors can swing the stick, and so can the rest of the guys in that Roswell lineup. They're going to benefit from playing at home in front of their fans, having the time off. But, Grand Junction swept Alpine pretty easily, and they've had a couple of days now to breathe and catch their breaths. And the good thing about the way that it worked out with Trinidad and Tucson is now everybody's on the same schedule. It was going to be that Garden City would have played last night against the winner of that series, and so the Mountain North was going to be a day ahead of the South in the series starts, and now the Mountain South and Mountain North will both start at the same time and play Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then the winners will meet Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday this next week. And by the time we talk next Friday, we'll know who's in the Mountain Division, in the Pecos League Championship Series, because Game 1 will play that night. So, there's a lot of baseball going to be played over the next week, and a lot of opportunity for Garden City. I do think that it's better that Tucson won than Trinidad, because Trinidad, they scuffled down the stretch, but they were still a really good ball club. And that they'd walk into Garden City, wanting to put the Wind down. That's a rivalry. And so I think it's good that Tucson won. It gives Garden City an opportunity to avenge last year's Mountain Division Championship Series loss to the Saguaros. And so they get the opportunity to slap them down. I hope Roswell wins this series down there, because, one, I'm terrified of Grand Junction. I think Grand Junction's the complete package, and they scare me. But, 2, it'd be kind of storybook for the Garden City Wind, because, Roswell's another team. They lost in the Mountain Division Championship Series. The Wind were 6 outs away from going to the Pecos League Championship. And Roswell was able to beat them back, 22, 23, something like that. So, they've had opportunities have the wind, and the teams that stood in their way still stand in their way today, with Tucson and Roswell, and then Grand Junction thrown in just for the fun of it, which that's become a little bit of a rivalry. Grand Junction in their first year, and like I said, they walk around with a chip on their shoulder, and they do not like the guys from Garden City, whether it's the guys on the field or the guys in the press box or the staff. There's been numerous things going on with Grand Junction when they've come to Garden City. So that would be kind of nice to put them down as well if you're Garden City. But really the storybook thing would be being able to beat Tucson and Roswell and exercise some demons of years past against those two teams. I think that would be the best thing for Garden City. It'd be therapeutic to be able to do that. As a Garden City Wind fan, I've been doing this for 10 years with the Wind. They've been around for 12, and I've been with them for 10 seasons. And in the 10 years that I've been here, there's definitely been passion with the fan base. There's been a lot of heartbreak, going down and losing at Alpine a couple of years ago, losing last year to Tucson at home, losing to Roswell at home. 3 years in a row? Roswell bounced the Wind out of the playoffs. So those are things that stick with you. And so exercising those demons as a fan of the team would be fantastic, and it would be kind of storybook if the Wind were able to do that. But it all depends on how games play out over the next couple of days. Garden City will get Tucson tonight, tomorrow, and then possibly on Sunday if a Game 3 is needed. But the hope is Garden City can win tonight and tomorrow and do so against a Tucson team that's got to be tired. Having the game stretch out like that, and mentally that's got to take a toll on you, knowing that, they were close to being bounced. Game 2, it was tied in the 6th inning, and they got to wait overnight to think about it, being down in the series 1-0. It's a 3-game series. There's not a lot of room for error in these 3-game series. And that's what makes the Pecos League that much more exciting when you get to the playoff time. It's a season that's crammed into 2 months, and you play almost every single day. And then you get to the playoffs, and you can't make mistakes. We've seen very good teams make mistakes and get bounced. We saw that last night with Trinidad. And so it's going to be, a nail-biter finish all the way. But I do like Garden City's chances a lot more now. With Tucson going down. Like I said, though, Grand Junction's still the team that scares the crap out of me. And they get a Roswell team that's been sitting and waiting and well-rested and has a lot of pop in that lineup. If the pitching can hold up, Roswell can beat Grand Junction. But, you look at that South, and maybe the South wasn't quite as good as we thought. That's what Randy Ralston and I were discussing that the other day. But then Tucson beats Trinidad. So maybe, the lower half of the South was better than we thought. And it's just appalling to me that, it's kind of mind-blowing that Roswell won that division. Nobody expected that, especially after the last couple of years of the Invaders struggling. Nobody expected Roswell to win the South. It looked like it was Alpine's division, and Roswell was able to hold them off, and then Alpine couldn't get by Grand Junction. So I don't know. It's hard to make out this season. This has been a strange Pecos League season, and it's just had a strange feeling to it since night number 1 when Garden City beat North Platte 9-8. Since opening day, it has had this strange feel to it, even before then, when we were setting up the gear the day before opening day. It had this weird aura to it that this season wasn't going to be like seasons past, and so far that's been true. I don't think I've ever seen the lower seeds just sweep the top seeds 3 of the 4 first series, because that's just crazy. Martinez sweeping Dublin, and San Rafael sweeping Bakersfield, and then Grand Junction sweeping Alpine. It just, whoa, wait a minute. And then you have Tucson, who finally ends up beating Trinidad as the lower seed. And so the top seeds are in danger right now. They're a very they're marked as Garden City and Roswell are going to find out over the next couple of nights. But it's going to be fun. About 6:30 is first pitch tonight against the Tucson Saguaros. It is K-Man night at the ballpark, brought to you by AAA Pawn and Armory. So we'll have that going on. But come out to the ballpark, game number 1 of the divisional series against the Tucson Saguaros. And then if Garden City can get past them, they'll play in the Mountain Division Championship Series for the 3rd straight season. And maybe the 3rd time's the charm. Maybe. We shall see. But they already have set records this year. First team in Pecos League history with 3 straight 40-win seasons. Darius Freeman set the stolen bases record for the franchise. There's a number of other things that have gone on that have been great for Garden City. But, it all comes down to, Randy Ralston and I were talking with some people after the win clinched last week. They clinched the division, and we weren't jumping around and celebrating with everybody else. It was just kind of business as usual. And somebody asked Randy about it, and he said, look, we haven't won the big one. We've won this one before. We haven't won the big one. Yeah, this is nice, but you expect to do it at this point if you're Garden City. You expect to win the North, and you expect to make the playoffs at the very least. Now you got to win it all. That's the one thing you haven't ever done. And that's the one thing that's missing for Garden City. All the awards, all the accolades, still missing that championship trophy. So Garden City, opportunity to do it. The path is laid out, and they have to get by Tucson to start with, which they weren't able to do last season. So we'll see what they're able to do this year, starting tonight. 6 o'clock, we'll take the air here on Dry River Radio. 6:30, 6:35 first pitch at Clint Lightner Stadium. We'll take a break, come back, and we'll talk a little bit about the Kansas City Royals. Yeah, we'll do that here in a moment. This is Ridin the Pine, presented by AAA Pawn and Armory, right here on Dry River Radio.
Hello, everyone. This is Harrison again to tell you about Spike's Cafe. Spike's Cafe is the place you want to take your family for breakfast or lunch. Trust me, they even cater. So if you have a party, they will bring the food to you or their food truck to your event. Spike's Cafe is the best. My dad takes me a lot of places to eat, so I know what I'm talking about. Spike's Cafe is open Tuesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. And on some Fridays, they stay open until 8. So check out their Facebook page for specials or today's hours. Spike's Cafe, only in Ingalls, Kansas.
If you need a place to cash your paycheck or are looking for a little extra cash, stop by AAA Pawn and Armory. AAA Pawn and Armory has a wide selection of slightly used items such as TVs, guitars, golf clubs, tools, jewelry, and more. They also have a large inventory of rifles, shotguns, and handguns, as well as ammo in stock. So whether you are looking for your next firearm, TV, or other item, or you just need to cash a check or pawn something for a little extra money, don't go anywhere but AAA Pawn and Armory, 132 West Kansas Avenue in Garden City.
Advances in technology have made hearing a more fashionable thing. Gone are the big, bulky hearing aids of yesteryear, and in are more sleek, modern, and connected devices. Connect to your TV, your phone, and the world around you. If you are having trouble with hearing, then schedule a free hearing test at Miracle Ear of Southwest Kansas with convenient locations in Dodge City, Garden City, and Liberal. More and more people of all ages are starting their journey towards better hearing, and you can too. Visit miracle-ear.com today to schedule a free hearing test. Miracle Ear of Southwest Kansas. You deserve to hear a better day.
Graph Inc. is your printing solution nationwide and the only place I do my printing business. Hello everyone, it's me, Joey Dean. When I need business cards, flyers, banners, or even just graphic design, I call on my friends at Graph Inc. They can print you pretty much anything and have it arrive at your door in short order. Scale tickets, carbon sheets, or whatever you need printed. The professionals at Graph Inc. will make sure that you're putting your best foot forward. They're a 24/7 printer too, so don't worry if it's 7 p.m. on a Friday. They will still make sure you're taken care of. Find them online at gigc.us. The only place I trust for my printing needs is Graph Inc. Welcome back, bench warmers. It is Ridin the Pine. It's presented by AAA Pawn and Armory right here on Dry River Radio. I about did it again. I stopped myself for a second time. Very proud of myself for doing that. But either way, it's brought to you by AAA Pawn and Armory, 132 West Kansas in Garden City. If you haven't been there, you should. You should go there because it is fantastic, by the way. It is one of my favorite places to go and shop because they have lightly used items. It's not, like you think of a pawn shop, people getting rid of their junk or having to pawn something for some extra cash, and you can do that there. But they're very selective on the things that they keep around and take as pawn items. And so when things come available to be sold in the pawn shop, they're nice things. TVs and electronics, guitars, musical equipment, jewelry, tools. And then, of course, you've got ammunition and firearms as well. It is AAA Pawn and Armory, 132 West Kansas in Garden City. The Royals roiled last night. They royally roiled. It's like Matt Strom looked at the stats and saw that Lucas Ursig had a better ERA. So when he got in and the bases were loaded and there were Ursig's runners, he's like, you know what, I'm going to give it a dinger here. Inflate your ERA a little more. Both of them are awful. I had hope for Lucas Ursig a year or two ago. I had hope for him. Matt Strom has not been the guy that he was in Philadelphia even. Neither one of them should be coming out of the bullpen for this team. If the Royals were actually serious about winning games, neither one of them would be on the roster. That tells me the Royals are not serious about winning games. They go on these weird little win streaks of 4 or 5 games and give people a little bit of hope and then crap all over themselves right afterwards. That's what the Royals do. And it's getting frustrating as a fan of the Royals. They made the playoffs, 2 years ago? When they lost to the Yankees in the playoffs, they swept Baltimore and then lost to the Yankees. But they made the playoffs and you were like, there's some hope here. And then last year, it was like, what? What's going on? And this year's been just awful. And they have a core of guys that should be, something to build off of with Jensen and Pasquantino and Witt and Miguel Garcia. These guys are Jack Caglione. These guys offensively should be, powering this team. But they've had issues offensively, and the pitching staff has not been good. And now, the two guys that they could trade and actually get some value for in Seth Lugo and Michael Wacha, they're saying they're not going to trade them. What are you doing? Oh, we're willing to trade Ursig and Strom and, all the guys nobody wants. You're not going to get anything for them. You might be able to trade garbage player for garbage player. That might be about it. If that. I don't even think anybody would give cash for Strom or Ursig right now. I wouldn't. I wouldn't give them a bucket of baseballs for him. I'd keep my expired Chili's gift card. They're not good. They're just not. And you got to start making decisions here if you're the front office on is Quatraro the guy? Because so far he hasn't been. You've got a 3-run lead at Minnesota. Chance to steal one from Minnesota and continue the string of good luck you've had. 3-run lead. Your pitcher has gone 8 innings. Noah Cameron went 8 innings of one-hit ball. He had a no-hitter through 7, or into the 7th, through 6. But either way, he gave up 1 hit. He had been pitching great. And you don't send him back out. Okay, I got questions about that too. Because I think you send him back out. Go see what you can do in the 9th. You got a 3-run cushion. If he struggles with the first batter, then you go to the bullpen. Have somebody ready in the bullpen so you can yank him. Very short leash for him, but for crying out loud, to not send him back out and then send out your 2 worst relievers. Two guys that I wouldn't trust to defend anything. They got a 3-run lead. I don't trust them. If they had a 13-run lead, I wouldn't trust them. And so what's Ersic do? He loads the bases. What's Strom do with 2 strikes? 2 outs and 2 strikes. Serves up a grand slam. Royals lose. In the most royal way possible. And we've all seen this before. As Royals fans, this is nothing new. We saw this all through the early 2000s. Into the early 2010s until 2013 when they started finally figuring things out. And there was a great 4 years in there where the Royals were relevant. And they won a World Series. They went to 2 of them. And they were oh so close to winning the one in 2014. But at least they got there and won it in 15. And then it's almost like the front office was like, well, we won it. That's enough. Pack it up. Another 20 years of losing. Is that what it is? The Royals fans have to endure 20 years of losing before they can have even a couple of winning seasons? And yeah, we'll throw a World Series in, and then we're going to lose for another 20 years. I mean, yeah, the World Series is great, but at least be freaking relevant. You know, you're in a division that was winnable. A division that if you're at 500, you're right there in the mix. With the second wild card and third wild card and however many damn wild cards we have now, at 500, you're in the mix for a wild card even. What are you doing? You can't play 500 baseball? You have to be 20 games under? You can't just be the Angels of the last 20 years? Not this year's Angels. But they've been the poster boy of mediocrity for so long. Like, hey, we're going to be like 2 games above 500 this year. That's what we're going to do. You know, we have 3 of the best guys in baseball. Sometimes 4 of the best guys in baseball. And we're going to be 2 games over 500. That's what the Angels have done. Ever since they won the World Series in, 2001? They've just been mediocre. Mike Trout's made the playoffs one time. The Royals swept him. 620-222-0898 is the number. I don't know how much we lost there because my board decided that it didn't want to work with me anymore. It's whatever. It's so annoying. So absolutely annoying. Just like Rawls baseball. It's just annoying. But anyway, love to hear your thoughts on whatever it is. 620-222-0898, the number. We'll take a break, come back, and talk a little college sports, and then we'll do the picks for the weekend. This is Ridin the Pine, presented by AAA Pond and Armory on Dry River Radio.
Hello, everyone. This is Harrison again to tell you about Spike's Cafe. Spike's Cafe is the place you want to take your family for breakfast or lunch. Trust me, they even cater. So if you have a party, they will bring the food to you or their food truck to your event. Spike's Cafe is the best. My dad takes me a lot of places to eat, so I know what I'm talking about. Spike's Cafe is open Tuesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. And on some Fridays, they stay open until 8. So check out their Facebook page for specials or today's hours. Spike's Cafe, only in Ingalls, Kansas.
Advances in technology have made hearing a more fashionable thing. Gone are the big bulky hearing aids of yesteryear, and in are more sleek, modern, and connected devices. Connect to your TV, your phone, and the world around you. If you are having trouble with hearing, then schedule a free hearing test at Miracle Ear of Southwest Kansas with convenient locations in Dodge City, Garden City, and Liberal. More and more people of all ages are starting their journey towards better hearing, and you can too. Visit miracle-ear.com today to schedule a free hearing test. Miracle Ear of Southwest Kansas. You deserve to hear a better day.
Graph Inc. is your printing solution nationwide and the only place I do my printing business. Hello everyone, it's me, Joey Dean. When I need business cards, flyers, banners, or even just graphic design, I call my friends at Graph Inc. They can print you pretty much anything and have it arrive at your door in short order. Scale tickets, carbon sheets, or whatever you need printed. The professionals at Graph Inc. will make sure that you're putting your best foot forward. They're a 24/7 printer too, so don't worry if it's 7 p.m. on a Friday. They will still make sure you're taken care of. Find them online at gigc.us. The only place I trust for my printing needs is Graph Inc.
If you need a place to cash your paycheck or are looking for a little extra cash, stop by AAA Pawn and Armory. AAA Pawn and Armory has a wide selection of slightly used items such as TVs, guitars, golf clubs, tools, jewelry, and more. They also have a large inventory of rifles, shotguns, and handguns, as well as ammo in stock. So whether you are looking for your next firearm, TV, or other item, or you just need to cash a check or pawn something for a little extra money, don't go anywhere but AAA Pawn and Armory, 132 West Kansas Avenue in Garden City.
Welcome back, bench warmers. It is Ridin the Pine, presented by AAA Pond and Armory here on Dry River Radio. Joey Dean with you as we've got Garden City Wind Baseball coming up this evening. That will be at 6 o'clock for our pregame show. 6:30 first pitch for Garden City against the Tucson Saguaros, as round 2 of the Pecos League Playoffs will be going and gone. So the NCAA, in its all its awesomeness, has suspended Tennessee star linebacker Arian Carter for 2 games for a $427 flight he took during the NFL pre-draft process. He also repaid the flight, by the way. The flight was paid for by his agent, and he went to the pre-draft things and decided he wasn't going to go through the draft. And so he comes back, paid the money back, and the NCAA is still going to suspend him because he took a gift. We're in the age of the NIL. Teams are openly recruiting players with lucrative contracts. It is openly pay for play. We're worried about a $427 flight that a guy paid back to the agent. We're worried about that. That's like the NCAA getting guys for their coach buying them sub sandwiches back in the 80s, early 90s. The NCAA is an absolute joke. It is a sham of an organization. It is hypocritical, and it has no real use anymore. It might have at one time, but it doesn't now. It is useless. The vacating wins, the suspensions, the this and that. It's arbitrary, all of it. Vacating wins, I know I've ranted about that on this show before. I think it's the stupidest punishment because it's not a real punishment. We all saw the games happen. Oh, you don't get those wins in your record anymore. Whatever. We all saw it happen. We know that it exists. We're still going to talk about it. But the NCAA has no control. And the fact of the matter that they still exist baffles me. Because not only is this hypocritical, but something that they could actually control, like the NCAA football playoffs, something that they could put their hand in and say, hey, let's stop this nonsense in Division I football. Let's stop it. This is beyond stupid. They do nothing about. The Big Ten has heard that the SEC doesn't want 24 teams in the playoff, and none of them want auto qualifiers. They want the committee to pick the field of 24 if we have a 24-team playoff. My goodness. Does anybody else realize how stupid this whole playoff thing has been? People wanted a playoff in the 90s. They had the bowl system. That wasn't good enough, so in came the BCS. That wasn't good enough. And it was the BCS Plus. Then it was the 4-team playoff where the top 4 conferences got it. No. Every other level of football, of sports, has figured out how to actually do a playoff. And because Division I football makes so much money, because the names Notre Dame, Alabama, Georgia carry so much weight, Florida, Ohio State, Michigan, because those names carry weight, it doesn't matter what they do on the field. We've seen that. We've seen undefeated teams left out of the playoffs so that a big name can get in there. It's a freaking popularity contest, and it is stupid. And to think that they want to have a field of 24 where there's no automatic bids. So you win your conference, you might get in, you might not. Sorry, Sun Belt. It's ridiculous. Either separate the quote-unquote Power 4 from the Group of 5, separate the two, and have your popularity contest with the Group of 4 or the Power 4, or do this right. Because you cannot tell me that a 3-loss SEC team deserves to be in a playoff over a no-loss American Conference team. The proof is on the field. You lost. It's tough. Oh, the regular season won't matter. I beg to differ. Regular season will still matter. Because you have, 8 conferences, 9 conferences? So that's 9 automatic bids. And then you'd have 13, 14, 15. Let's see, if there's 9, it'd be 15 at-larges. I'm not saying you need to have, the second best team in the Sun Belt as an at-large. I'm not saying that. I'm saying let their champion in. Quit gatekeeping. Let them have an opportunity at a national championship, because right now they don't. Or they won't. since we had, 2 teams, Boise and Tulane in last year, something like that. And now they're going to close the gap even more to keep them excluded. Can't have these other schools in there. They might beat us one of these times. We've seen it happen. We've seen Appalachian State take down Michigan. We saw Boise State take down Oklahoma. We saw Utah beat Georgia. Can't let those teams in. Utah and TCU, which were on the outside looking in, joined the Big 12, and suddenly everybody's cool with them. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Money has ruined college football. And it's ruining college sports, period. And the NCAA is 100% to blame. So they better reverse this decision with Arian Carter. They better reverse this decision and be like, you know what? $427 that you paid back, that's good enough. Don't do it again. That's it. The Aftershocks and JHX got in a fight on the court and then off the court after the game. The basketball tournament, I've followed it because I love Wichita State basketball. The Aftershocks have been a lot of fun, but I think we're starting to get to, this is getting out of hand. There's guys on these teams that didn't necessarily, they weren't stars for the team, and now there's the non-alumni bracket, and I don't know. I get it, and it's fun, but at the same time, if you have incidents like you did on Monday in Koch Arena, you can't have that. You just can't. And so, I'm glad to see some of the guys apologizing, and the TBT apologizing, and the Aftershocks program and JHX apologizing. But the fact of the matter is, just like the Malice in the Palace, you can't have that. And so, severe punishments needed to be handed out. And Keene being suspended from the tournament indefinitely, and those are the things that need to happen. A message needs to be sent. I get getting caught up in stuff, but come on. Give me a break. Let's do the picks before I lose my driver again. I gotta upgrade my driver, I think, is my issue here. Either way, let's go to Major League Baseball picks here for this today. 1:20 today on MLB TV. It's the Yankees at the Cubs. Go Cubs, go! Emanga needs to do it, man. Don't lose to the Yankees, please, for crying out loud. 5:10 on MLB TV. The Pirates at the Reds. I will take the Pirates in that one. 6:05 MLB TV. Phillies at Orioles. Go Birds. Give me the Orioles in that one. 6:07 on MLB TV. Cardinals at Blue Jays. Bird fight. Dylan Cease going for the Blue Jays. Yeah, I'm going to go with Dylan Cease. Yeah, give me the Jays. I wasn't going to take the Cardinals anyway. You knew that. 6:10 on MLB TV. The Diamondbacks at the Guardians. Give me the Diamondbacks on the road. I like that one. 6:10 on MLB TV. White Sox at Rays. I will take the Rays. The White Sox still playing well, though. But the Rays playing a little bit better. 6:10 on MLB TV. The Marlins at the Mets. I will take the Marlins. Go Fish there in Queens, New York. 6:15 on MLB TV. Nationals at Braves. I will take the Braves at home. Nationals have been kind of a surprise. They're at 500. That has been a surprise this year. The Rangers at the Astros, 7:15 on Apple TV. Those two teams separated by half a game. Rangers just barely ahead of the Astros, who have been charging hard. Give me the Rangers at home, though. Rangers on the road, though, as it is in Houston. So give me the Texas Rangers. 7:40 MLB TV, the Royals at the Rockies. Please, for crying out loud, win a game, Royals. You can't keep doing this stuff. You should have a nice little winning streak, and instead we're looking at last night's game going, what? How do you do that? So please beat the Rockies, for crying out loud. 8:38 on MLB TV, the Brewers at the Angels. Like I said, the Angels have been awful this year. No longer the poster child of mediocrity. The Brewers have been pretty good. They lead the NL Central. Give me the Brew Crew. 8:40 on MLB TV, the Tigers at the Athletics. Give me the A's at home. I like the way the A's have played. They're not quite there yet, but they're building, and you can tell. And I like them in Sacramento, by the way. I really do. 8:45 on Apple TV, Giants at Padres. I will take the Pads in that one. 9:10 on ESPN Unlimited and MLB.TV. Red Sox at Dodgers. Ooh, I'll take the Dodgers at home. Yeah. And then finally, 9:10 on MLB TV, the Twins at the Mariners. I will take the Twins on the road. Yeah. That's what I got from Major League Baseball games. In the Pecos League tonight, it is, I'll go with the winner, I think, who's going to win tonight and who's going to win the entire series as well. In the Pacific, we have Martinez at San Rafael. I actually think San Rafael is going to win Game 1, but I think Martinez is going to win the series. I think San Rafael uses some momentum, wins at home. But this Martinez team, I really like them, and I think that they can put it together and win that series. In the South, the Mountain South, it is Grand Junction at Roswell. Man, this one's a tough one, but I really think Grand Junction's going to win this series. I'm kind of back and forth. I don't think that they'll sweep the series. I think they probably win Game 1, Roswell wins Game 2, and then Grand Junction prevails in Game 3. I think that's how it's going to go in the Mountain South. And then in the Mountain North, Garden City against Tucson. I think Tucson's going to run into a little bit too much to handle in a well-rested Garden City team. I think the Wind sweep the Saguaros and take on Grand Junction on Monday. And that one, like I said, I am terrified of Grand Junction. I think that goes 3 games. I think the Wind win, but it's way closer than it needs to be. And I think Garden City punches their ticket to the Pecos League Championship Series for the first time in franchise history come Wednesday. So I think Garden City's going to sweep Tucson and then take 2 or 3 from Grand Junction starting the week. And then when we talk on Friday, we'll be talking about Garden City against Martinez for a Pecos League Championship Series. That'd be interesting because they have the same color scheme. So it'd be very interesting. Actually, Gardens is that royal blue and white, and Martinez is royal blue and light blue. So, yeah, a little bit different, but not much at all. So it'd be an interesting series between Garden City and Martinez. That's what I'm predicting is going to happen. So probably the exact opposite is going to happen. It'll probably be San Rafael and Grand Junction or something like that, or Tucson. Who knows? But either way, join me at 6 o'clock tonight for the pregame show for Garden City Wind Baseball as they take on the Tucson Saguaros from Clinton Liner Ballpark in Garden City. It's K-Man night, so we'll pick a K-Man. If he strikes out, it's dollar beers the rest of that half inning at the Wendy's Saloon. Big thank you to all our sponsors, Southwest Kansas Miracle Ear, Graph Inc., Spike's Cafe, and AAA Pawn and Armory. This has been Ridin' the Pine, and it's presented by AAA Pawn and Armory right here on Dry River Radio. See you at 6, everyone.